This is Cars and Bids, and today I'm going to discuss Tesla, which has been hugely popular on Cars and Bids. We've been very successful selling Tesla models, and so today I'm going to discuss a few of the Tesla models that we've sold and also my theories on what makes Tesla so popular on Cars and Bids. So let's talk Tesla. When we first launched Cars and Bids, we weren't sure if we were going to take Tesla models. We didn't know if it would really resonate with our audience. We figured car enthusiasts would want manual transmissions and wagons and sports cars, and that doesn't really fit with Tesla. And it took a couple of months before we got our first one. We launched in like early June, and the first one didn't go up until mid-August, so it was a couple months. But then someone submitted a Model X with a fairly reasonable reserve, and we took it, and we sold it, and it did well. So we thought, okay, well, maybe we'll take some chances here. So then someone submitted a Model S with a reasonable reserve, and we took it, and it sold, and it did well. And we thought, okay, well, let's give Tesla a whirl. So Tesla's working, let's keep at it. And as I film this video, we have had 14 Teslas auctioned on Cars and Bids, and all 14 of these have sold. And this has been very surprising, but we've done very well with Tesla. And I have some ideas on why, so let's check it out. First, I want to discuss some of our more important Tesla sales. I mentioned the Model X, the first Tesla that we had on Cars and Bids. That's the only Model X we've sold, so that's a big one. It sold for just under $60,000, about 26,000 miles. And it was a cool car, and I was happy that we sold that one. Now, otherwise, we've had 7 Model S's and 6 Model 3s, so about even on those, aside from the X. And our biggest sale, other than the X, was this 2019 Model 3 Performance. It was sold with no reserve, and it brought $47,250, a big number, but it was a good car, a one-owner car with only 14,500 miles, and it deserved that price. Our top Model S sale was this 2017 model, again with no reserve, went for just under $44,000. Again, a nice one-owner car with lower miles. And by the way, before I go any further, I should mention Model S's are becoming a deal. We routinely are selling kind of older Model S's with sort of higher mileage in the mid $20,000 range. These are absolute deals given the performance and the technology that they offer, and it's been great to see these appearing on Cars and Bids and finding new homes. And you gotta admit, they're pretty tempting for mid $20,000 for a car like that. So anyway, why have we been so successful on Cars and Bids with Tesla, the website devoted to enthusiast cars? I was thinking it would be gas-powered manual transmission trucks and cars, and I didn't think Tesla would be such a big part of it. But I think looking at it now, there are several big reasons why Tesla has done well. One big reason is a few of the very first Tesla sellers took a big risk and sold their cars with no reserve. The first 2 Teslas on Cars and Bids did have a reserve, but then Tesla numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 all went with no reserve. Now, I was content selling Teslas with pretty low reserves because we were nervous about, this car is an enthusiast site, manual transmissions and sports cars. Maybe these people won't buy Teslas. And so I wanted to put kind of low reserves on all of them. But then someone, submitted his Model S to us with no reserve. And it sold for its retail value. And then another Tesla owner must have seen that and submitted a Model 3, I think it was next, and also with no reserve, and boom, another sale. So Tesla people, I think, then started to become aware pretty quickly that, hey, if you want to sell your Tesla, Cars and Bids is the place. You can do it with no reserve. It's a risk, but you'll get all the money. Here's proof. Here's 2, 3, 4, now 5, 6 cars coming in. They're all selling pretty well. Here's proof you'll get your money. So that trend kind of came early, and I think more than anything we did, we didn't really do anything to further it, but Tesla owners saw that other Teslas were selling and that they were selling well, and since then the Teslas have kind of kept rolling in. But then the question is, well, why on a website, it's devoted to gas-powered cars, 80s, 90s, 2000s, we got Corvettes and Mustangs all the time. Why are Teslas so popular? Now, I think there are a few big factors here. I think one is that Tesla buyers are just more web savvy than buyers of a lot of other types of cars. Tesla buyers almost surely bought the car either entirely or almost entirely online in the first place, so they think nothing of doing the same to sell the car or to buy a used one or whatever. Obviously, the Cars and Bids experience is a little bit different than buying a Tesla from the factory, from the dealership, but it's the same basic idea, online shopping. and, tech. It's not that different to Tesla people. It already kind of makes sense. So, unlike buying an old V8 where, you just don't feel like you really did it unless you sat in the showroom and looked a salesperson in the eye and tried to get some deal when you were haggling. Here's a group of people who are already ready for online car shopping, who are already accustomed to it. But I think it's more than just that. I also think another big part of Tesla sales has been, frankly, reliability. Electric cars just don't have as many major things that can go wrong when you're buying them used as gas-powered cars. When I buy a used gas-powered car like this one, or frankly any car that I own, I generally assume that the car will need more work than it appears. Not because the prior owner has neglected anything or has failed to disclose anything, but just gas-powered cars, especially as they age, this one's almost 30 years old, they start to develop all sorts of stuff. You just have to constantly stay on top of it. And so I buy used cars with my eyes wide open, as I think do a lot of used car buyers, especially enthusiasts, that the car is going to have needs, it's going to have issues, it's going to have problems. And I think that's a good reason why a lot of people don't buy a used car. They're just nervous. Taking the risk of that sort of thing is just too great. And I understand that. But with an electric car, some of that risk is diminished because the car just doesn't have as many surprises lurking. Yes, there could still be issues with like the door handles on Tesla has been a big problem, or the center screen, or the Tesla drive unit, that sort of thing. But that stuff can generally sometimes be sussed out, either by seeing the car in person, which we always tell potential buyers to do, or by getting an inspection, which we also always tell potential buyers to do. That's why we run our auctions for a week. Or honestly, just watching the video that accompanies the listing. Listings with videos always get more money. We have discovered this time and time again because it just removes a few more variables. You see the car turn on, you see the car run, that sort of thing. And so in this case, with a Tesla, you can tell kind of how's that stuff working? Are the door handles working? Is the computer in the center working? That sort of thing. And so I think those videos help. And I think, frankly, buying a used Tesla or a used electric car just takes some of the risk, the potential issues out of buying a used car. Certainly not all. Teslas still do have their problems, but I think there are fewer risks than if you buy an aging gas-powered car. And I think that makes people a little bit more likely to do it as well. And there's more to it still. I think a lot of Tesla people buy these for the big benefit of autopilot in their commuting, or for the free supercharging and not have to buy gas. And a lot of used Tesla models, including many that we've sold, still have free unlimited supercharging for life, or they have autopilot. Normally that transfers to the next owner. And so here's your chance to get those benefits without paying the full amount for a brand new Tesla model. But anyway, that's my take. Tesla has been great on cars and bids. And if you have a Tesla, sell it with us. If you're looking to sell it, if you're looking to buy one, buy it with us. We always have one or two on the site. And I'm very happy with our Tesla performance on cars and bids. I never would have guessed. And frankly, I believe the buyers and the sellers of these Teslas have been happy too. So that's my latest take on another model we've done very well with. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out Cars and Bids.